So let's talk about the first spin-off of the Conjuring Universe, Annabelle. Is it really that bad? Well, in a way it is. Watch my review and find out. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2014 supernatural horror flick Annabelle, released by Warner Bros. For New Line Cinema, directed by James R. Leone, written by Gary Doberman, and produced by Peter Safran and James Wan. A prequel to The Conjuring, which came out the previous year, the second installment of the Conjuring Universe. The film was inspired by a story of a doll named Annabelle told by the main two characters of The Conjuring, the late Ed and Lorraine Warren. The film stars Annabelle Wallis, Horton and Alfre Woodard. The film got a little bit of liking, but critics were hard on this. For now, let's get into our story. In Santa Monica, California, John Form, a doctor, presents his expectant wife, Mia, with a rare vintage porcelain doll as a gift for their first child, which is to be placed in a collection of dolls in their child's nursery. That night, the couple is disturbed by the sounds of their next-door neighbors, the Higgins, being murdered during a home invasion. John goes to investigate and returns with his outfits covered in blood and tells Mia to call the police. While he goes back to investigate again, Mia heard Annabelle Higgins' voice from one of the rooms is attacked from behind by Annabelle's boyfriend who stabbed her as he decided to murder her child. John rushed in and fought the man, but he is overpowered and knocked unconscious as the man tried to stab Mia once again. The police arrive just in time to shoot him, a man dead, while Annabelle Higgins commits suicide by slitting her throat inside the nursery while holding the doll. News reports identify the assailants as the Higgins' estranged daughter Annabelle and her unidentified boyfriend, both of whom are members of a satanic cult. In the following days after the attack, a series of paranormal activities occur around the Form's residence. Afterwards, Mia gives birth to a healthy baby girl who Mia and John decide to name her Leah. The family moved to an apartment in Pasadena, and after finding the doll that John had previously discarded in one of their boxes, another set of paranormal events plague Mia and Leah. The next night, Mia is haunted by a malevolent presence in the apartment. She believes it to be Annabelle's ghost after she encounters a dark and terrifying figure in the building's basement. The demonic figure begins pursuing her before she escapes by running out the emergency exit and ascending the stairs. Mia calls back Detective Clarkin to gather more information about Annabelle and her cult, and learns that the cult mainly summons supernatural beings. With the help of a bookseller and fellow tenant, Evelyn, Mia realizes that the cult practiced devil worship, which conjured a demon that followed the family after they moved to their current apartment in order to claim a soul. Upon returning home, Mia and Leah are attacked by the demon, who reveals itself while manipulating the doll. Terrified and worried for their daughter's safety, Mia and John contact their parish priest, Father Perez. He informs them that demons sometimes attach themselves to inanimate objects as an advantage so as to accomplish their goals, and that a human soul must be offered for a purpose. Without any hopes of exorcising the demon out of the doll, Father Perez decided to take it away to seek help from the Warrens for further investigation. However, before he can enter the church, the demon impersonating Annabelle's spirit attacks him and grabs the doll. Alright, now for the final act and the ending. You know the procedure as always. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, continue on. Thank you, and here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Father Perez is hospitalized as a result. When John checks on him, he warns the latter that he has sensed the demon's powerful presence and that its true intention is to claim Mia's soul. John immediately calls Mia to warn her and urges her to leave the apartment, but she doesn't get the message due to static interference. The same night, the demon uses Father Perez's physical form to sneak into the apartment and abduct Leah from her mother's soul. To spare her daughter, Mia attempts to jump out of the window with the doll, but John arrives just in time with Evelyn to stop her. Evelyn decides to jump in Mia's place instead as atonement for causing a car accident that resulted in the death of her daughter Ruby years ago. While Evelyn lays dead, the doll disappears and Leah is safely back inside her crib. 6 months later, the doll is bought from an antique shop by a mother as a birthday gift for her daughter, who is a nursing student. That is the end, but there is a little bit of a showing of Annabelle inside a big glass case inside the little museum of all the stuff that was collected by the late great Anne Lorraine Warren in the story. So what did I think of Annabelle? Well, even though I've seen it just a few times, but, well, it's still not really the best, though. It's factually an okay movie, but still not one of the best, though. While we do get some good performances from Annabelle Wallis as Mia, and Ward Hurren as John, and Alfre Woodard as Evelyn, they were all pretty good. Tony Amendola played Father Perez, who did pretty well. Let's see, Carrie O'Malley played Sharon Higgins, and Brian Howe played Pete Higgins. We had Eric Lane as Detective Clarkin, and we had several others, but most of them I'm not too familiar with. Film does have a good score, not great though, not quite that great, by Joseph Bishara. While some people actually did like the cast performances, but most reviews were terrible. Rotten Tomatoes says it borrows unabashedly from better horror films, content to leave viewers with a string of cheap jokes that fail to build on the far more effective Conjuring, its predecessor. Once criticized the film for its cheap production screenplay, but was positive towards the performances of the cast. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. And another one says it's a cut-rate spin-off from James Wan's super lame haunted house hit The Conjuring that partly makes up in crude shock effect but lacks an atmosphere. Yeah, it kind of does lack in the atmosphere. Some of it's okay, but not as good as The Conjuring, though. And one said that the Scary Doll show has left him pining for Chucky in Child's Play. He further added, Annabelle may still draw horror fans in, and they will be quaking over the scares in this film. Yeah, its scares are, well, reasonable, but again, not quite that good. Despite the critics were harsh on this, the film nonetheless went on to make $257 million worldwide. It went on to have a prequel that came out 3 years later in the form of Annabelle Creation, which is what I'm going to review next time. And then a sequel to those two called Annabelle Comes Home, which came out 2 years later. But overall, with all that, mixed bag, would I recommend Annabelle? Well, I'd say maybe a one-time watch, but if you aren't too satisfied with this and what have you, and you've heard too much bad stuff on it, I'd say avoid it at all costs. And go with the prequel. It's a much better movie. And while Annabelle Comes Home did get a little bit of a reasonable response, but, well, you'll know about when I review that down the road later on, okay? But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on Annabelle in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Also, I want to give a last minute announcement. I mentioned in a previous video that I am planning to do a Final Destination live stream this Saturday. It'll be at 6 o'clock Central Time, not 8 o'clock, because I forgot I had plans to watch the new Slumber Party Massacre remake on Sci-Fi. So I humbly apologize. So be there for the Final Destination, and I mean the first Final Destination live stream, okay? Thank you. Alright, now if you like Annabelle, you can check out these other movies. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the original Exorcist from 1973. The upper right-hand corner is my review, well actually, re-review of the original Child's Play from 1988. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of The Conjuring, which I'll be adding Annabelle to it along with the first two Conjuring movies for our Conjuring Universe playlist. No leaving Annabelle in a solo playlist. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.